Okay, baby boy, I think we have to get off the couch now. Apparently, it's time to plan our 2026 intentions. I don't necessarily think that winter is a time for action. I feel like it's a time for planning and reflection. It's a time for coziness, not getting up at 5 a.m. when it's still dark outside and 20 degrees and going to the gym. But maybe that's just me. Some people get really motivated around New Year's. But this year, instead of jumping directly into the grind, I am setting intentions, not making resolutions. I do like to make a couple of resolutions, but I don't do that until the spring, usually around Beltane, if you know what that is. I feel like that's really a season of growth. And if I'm going to be doing something where I need to grow, I want to do that along with the seasons. I just feel like it's easier. It puts you more in the right mindset. And also, it's just more fun to go outside and be in nature and feel rejuvenated and renewed. And for me, this is not the time for that. The reason that I started kind of living more seasonally and acknowledging things like Yule and Beltane and that kind of thing is because it's part of my ancestry. I've never been an incredibly religious person, but I do like to think of myself as a spiritual person. I did my ancestry with 23andMe a few years ago, and it said that my ancestors are like 97% these Cordovi people who lived in the Midlands in England. So they were definitely Celtic people. They were probably pagans, obviously, and they would have celebrated the harvest seasons and the times of rebirth and the winter solstice. And I found that I really enjoy doing that, even though I'm not sure I necessarily believe in the magic of it. I just feel like those are great times for reflection and thinking back on what's happened in the season or what I'm looking forward to in the next season. And I will, in my next video, talk more about what I'm looking forward to in the winter. I know winter is a hard time for some people with seasonal depression and things like that. It doesn't really bother me, but I think it's because I live in Texas and I'm just so glad to have a reprieve from the heat. That the winter is kind of a welcome thing. It's you don't get a lot of cozy get under the blanket weather around here. So I definitely like to partake of that when possible. Speaking of which, because it is currently 76 degrees outside on December the 28th, um, yes, for the aesthetics, I have a coffee mug, but this is actually chilled apple cider. So, but I do have some leftover Christmas crack. I made it with like stevia stuff because the diabetes. Um, the M&Ms are the only thing with sugar, so it doesn't look as pretty as other people's Christmas crack, but it tastes pretty good and it's not going to kill me. So there you go. We have to make sacrifices sometimes. Oh, I think my cat wants up here, and the tree's here, and that's. You want me to move that, buddy? Oh, oh yes, yes, yes. So I'm not even gonna be feel guilty about not having a hot beverage during what I would normally consider a hot beverage chat, reflecting on the seasons and whatnot. Because this is pretty tasty. It's actually leftover from Christmas dinner. Anyway, so I'm just hanging around today, basically trying to plan out my intentions for the year, not my resolutions. The term resolution just carries with it this sort of hardcore discipline that I do not feel in my heart right now. I'm on Christmas vacation, and the last thing that I want to think about is getting back into the grind. So we're going to avoid, or at least in my house, I'm going to avoid that kind of mentality and focus on a softer, cozier, more gentle way of going about self improvement. Because, I mean, I don't think that self improvement is a be all end all at this time of year. But honestly, if we're not growing as people, then what are we even doing? Yeah, definitely we want to be like content in our life. But for a lot of us, we have to really work at contentment. Like it's a choice that you make every day to be content with what you have, to be happy with where you're at in life, and to find joy in the small things. So I just want to set some intentions to sort of circle around that idea and to remember that I'm not always looking toward the future. We need to stay present. We need to enjoy the time that we have on earth today. And sometimes that includes eating your sugar-free Christmas crack with sugar M&Ms. Every good ritual definitely begins with a pot of tea. I'm going with this Stress Less Winter Mint from Republic of Tea, which is just a little bit minty. It's very mild. It's nice. And into the teddy bear mug it goes. It is the 21st of December, which is the winter solstice, and on my winter bucket list, I had to watch the sunset. I'm preparing for that by setting up my patio for the intentions ritual, and my cat really wanted to be a part of the action. It wasn't really that cold outside, but it was slightly chilly because the sun was going down. Unfortunately, it was really overcast, so watching the sunset was more of a symbolic gesture than anything, because I couldn't actually see the sun or the moment that it dipped behind the horizon. But it was a peaceful night, and I think it ended up being perfect for what I was trying to do. I wanted to start a new tradition this year, so part of my winter solstice ritual is something called the 13 intentions. Basically, the 13 nights between the winter solstice and the new year are a time for reflection. Each night, I draw one intention that I'm writing down, and I'm going to burn it. I'm also going to journal every night, and I'll show you guys those journal prompts in a minute. The number 13 is often connected to the lunar cycle and feminine folklore and the natural rhythms of the year. It's a number of completion. It's not really an unlucky number. So it felt like a really fitting way to move through this quiet in-between time. I don't want to rush. I just want to pay attention. For me, this isn't about manifesting in a really intense way or trying to control the year ahead. It's more about listening. It's about noticing what my attention keeps returning to and what feels important right now. I'm going to take my 13 intentions and tear them into strips. I had this tea tin left over from the autumn. And I'm going to put all 13 intentions into the tea tin. And I thought that was kind of fitting. It's using something that I already have, being thankful for what I already have. And also, in a bit of a woo-woo way, I guess my intentions are steeping like tea in the tea tin until they're ready. So every day I will pull one out and I'll burn it without looking at it. And that's a way of, I guess, releasing that intention into the universe and trusting that it will be taken care of. Each intention is something I want to gently hold, not something I need to immediately act on. So at the end of the 13 nights, I will read the very last intention that's left, and I won't burn it. That's the one that I'm going to focus on for 2026. And I don't want to force the outcomes or set deadlines on this. I trust that the intentions that are meant to take root will, and that I'll return to them later if I need to, especially in the spring when it actually feels like a time for growth. And that 13th intention, I have a special place for it on my 2026 intentions table, which I'm going to show you guys me setting up in just a little while. As promised, I'm putting up the journal entries I'm going to do for the 13 nights here. You can pause if you want. But nights 1 through 4 are about reflection and releasing the old year. Nights 5 through 8 are about entering wintering. They invite inwardness and rest. Nights 9 through 12 are preparing new ground for a new year, about orienting yourself. And then on the 13th night is the intention that you keep and do not burn. And that's the one I'm really going to sit with, journal about, and think about how I'm going to tend this intention in the new year. For the next day, the next ritual that I wanted to do was to make a money bowl, which is an idea that I got from the Glasgow Witch on TikTok. I'm going to put up the ingredients for my money bowl here. You can pause or do whatever you'd like, but this is what they all represent. So for me, it's less about superstition and more about intention and attention. I keep it somewhere I see often as a reminder to be mindful with my money, to save where I can, to spend with purpose, and to treat financial stability as something I'm tending over time, not forcing all at once. And I don't expect this to magically fix anything. It's just a small physical reminder of my goals and of the kind of relationship with money that I want to have this year. I actually invited my aunt over to do this with me. We really enjoyed it. We had some cake and tea and made our bowls and just had a nice time with it. And I'm going to put this on my intentions table, which I am about to show you. So part of my intention table is going to be a plant. It's actually a part of my money bowl. This little plant represents long-term growth, a nurturing relationship, and stewardship over something. It's building a relationship with your intentions, if you will, and it's supposed to sort of overlook everything else. This little plant also stands for recovery for me. I bought it at Walmart, I think. It was reduced because it was almost dead. I think I bought this back, I probably had it about 3 months. And it seems to be coming back okay. So I'm gonna add it because it's small enough and it's a little on the nose, but I've had this money bag planter. I got it at Target probably 4 years ago. It's a money bag from Animal Crossing, if you're familiar. So I thought it would be cute to plant my money relationship plant into my money bag planter. here's where I'm going to set up my little intentions table in my office slash library. And it is a testament to using things I already have. So this is a plant stand I drug in from outside, and I needed a little tablecloth. I didn't have one. So this is actually a skirt that I dug out of my donate pile. It's a little bit too big for me now, but I'm gonna somehow make it work with the magic of clothespins. On this little table, I'm just going to put some symbolic objects to remind myself of things that I'm looking forward to in 2026. I'm actually thinking of putting a little vision board on the wall right above it, but I'm not committed to that yet. So yeah, this looks like absolute garbage from the back, but when I turn it around and put that part against the wall, we're going to hope that it turns out all right. And I think that for what it is, it's a winner. And for the aesthetics and the granny core, of course, I have this little crocheted doily. I'm putting my fern on there. If you guys have an idea for a name for my fern, go ahead and drop that in the comments. And here's my money bowl. And this is just to keep an hourglass from falling over. The only hourglass I had, I stole from my Boggle game. But the hourglass is supposed to represent patience. You know, good things come to those who wait. I wasn't going to go buy a new hourglass. That seems counterintuitive to the whole stewardship of money and money bowl situation. This smooth rock I picked up off the black sand beach in Iceland when I was there in October, and it represents grounding. This little bell, my boyfriend brought me back from Philadelphia when he was there last year or the year before. And the empty jar represents space for the things that I can't see coming yet. And I'm leaving this blank space for my 13th intention when I get it on the 13th magical night. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see an update on how I do, go ahead and subscribe, and I'd love to see you in the next one.